What's going on, guys? It has been a little while. I hope you all are doing well this afternoon. I just wanted to give you some quick updates regarding Ethereum and what we could see within the coming day or two, maybe within the coming couple of days. But yeah, so it's been pretty boring. If you got chopped up in this market, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. But if you had maybe like a grid bot going on, or if you had like some scalp positions within this past couple, I would say like 2 weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks, you'd be making some pretty hefty, hefty crypto. But yeah, so recently I've actually become an advisor for a pretty, I would say a pretty big NFT project. So I haven't necessarily been yeah, like trading as much as I would love to, but yeah, I do have some responsibilities that I've been kind of piling up. So I sincerely apologize if you're expecting like the daily videos as I had promised a couple of weeks ago. I'm so sorry. A lot of interesting things have kind of popped up in the Web3 space, and I've been networking like crazy as of late, and thankfully I've found some pretty interesting opportunities, which I'll share with you at a later time. I'm not here to shill a project that I recently partnered with, but anyway, I'm here to help you figure out what's happening with the charts. All right, so I'm going to get into it. So basically, what's been going down for the past, I would say, 3 to 4 weeks, um, basically since the beginning of July, we pumped all the way to the upside. A rising wedge was pretty prominent. I called that breakout, and I've been I followed it since. This descending broadening wedge was a thing. With a little micro moves in between. But essentially, yeah, there was a breakout. But unfortunately, price did find resistance here at a local liquidity zone, which was basically at 1,800, which was also a psychological level. Broke out of this other smaller rising wedge, and since then it's been going sideways and down since that overall happened. But if you go to the daily chart, now we're seeing topside resistances and bottom um, supports kind of play out. So as you can see, we do have this triangle pattern. Now this could be a bearish pennant for a number of reasons. One, my indicator here is showing some yellow arrows, kind of point to the downside. We did kind of get a little bit of a bounce here at this supply line, which is right here at basically a psychological level at 1,300. Given that the current price on the daily is flipping these moving averages from support to resistance is not a good sign. But I'll be completely honest with you. If I see a daily candle close above or below um, these lines, I'm going to consider this a trend breakout. A trend breakout to the upside or to the downside. Now I'm going to trade that breakout when it happens. I could do it in a spot position, or I could do it in a small leverage position. Haven't really decided that just yet, given that there is still support lines at 1,218 and 1,241. But yeah, top side resistances doesn't have much of a percentage gain, a net percentage gain, so that dump would probably be around 6.5%. It's not bad at all. Top side, if it were to say breakout right here, which is just subjective, 7.5% for major resistances, for major supports. But yeah, we do have an inflection point basically on October 26th, so we should see a resolution happen within a couple of days, frankly. Usually when the pattern is complete by 70%, we usually see a breakout, so it won't even go up to the last day at the October 26th. So it'll probably be more so around uh, at the latest 17th or 18th of October. So frankly, I'm keeping my eyes out on this breakout, whether if it's going to be a reversal to the upside or if it's going to be a continuation of a trend to the downside. So key levels that I would still keep my eye on out for would be, I would argue here on the daily candle. So I'm going to turn this into a pink, or yeah, just so it could kind of differentiate from all the other colors that I have on here. This key level, why is this important? Because this daily trend actually created a higher low instance. So we had our first initial higher low bullish engulfing candle here on the 22nd of April. I'm sorry, 22nd of September. I don't know why I said April. But yeah, essentially we had it on a Thursday, the 22nd, and essentially we created pretty key support at 1,243. Then we had another bullish engulfing candle right here, so that was a confirmed higher low situation. So if we see a break of that trend where the higher lows can no longer hold, then I would consider this a broken, for sure, a confirmed breakout to the downside. Um, Now, there could be some reaction down here to potentially make a double bottom instance, so that's going to be really rough. But frankly, if we do see, um, I would argue this would be a pretty decent move to open up a short, if you asked me, on a 4 hour to a daily. Um, it would be, yeah, like a 2.71% move, not too shabby, but ultimately, if the trend is broken and you create a lower high, that it's a new trend. So even though it would kind of probably pivot to the upside for a little while, it would probably confirm this yellow line that was once support as resistance. Okay, so this is just an analysis right here. That's usually what happens. Now it could continue on, finally hit this downward sloping resistance, which would be devastating for price overall, and continue to the downside until it hit probably a support line right around here, or a support line um, at basically all the way back down to 880 roughly. So there is a lot to keep your eyes on, but ultimately there's still, in my opinion, some time to prepare for a decision. Are you gonna sell off some of your assets to buy in lower? Are you gonna continue to hodl and maybe start accumulating a little bit more to kind of like get this short-term pump to the upside? To be honest, I haven't made my decision just yet. I did close my long entry. I closed my long entry. I had a limit order, um, yeah, right around here, pretty much at 1,200, and I was holding it for some time. But when I saw this green arrow, I closed it out. I'm sorry, this yellow arrow pointing down, I closed it out. Also, we did have a gravestone candle, which they look like this. They look like little swords. That's usually a sign of exhaustion, bullish exhaustion. So yeah, we are going to find some new support. We did kind of get a bounce off the supply line, like I stated prior. But yeah, once again, if you see a break there, then it's probably going to head to the downside. But ultimately, the momentum indicators are still kind of stagnant. We did bottom out, so to speak, right back in June. So um, now we could see this trend here continue. Here is something that I would keep my eyes on a daily perspective. If you go to the top right here, so currently it has broken out, but will there be a back test? I had done this similar instance on a 2 hour chart, which was a more intraday kind of thing. But if we do see this thing go to the downside, and if it bounces, that would be interesting to see. But at the end of the day, if it creates a lower low, that's not a good sign for the bulls. If you see something like this, where it comes down and then boom, that would be better because you would then have a trend of a low, then a higher low. So that would be a good instance. But contrary to this, if you see the line break, which I kind of already did it, but I didn't do it as well, I'm going to redo that. If you see something like this, then yeah, that's not good. So it's still there's still time to really prepare is what I'm trying to get at, frankly. For the past, oh my goodness, it's been choppy as it's been so crazy in terms of chop, the amount of chop that's been around. It's been 3 weeks, yeah, pretty boring, but ultimately, yeah, I do feel that there will be a decision coming soon, and we can finally get out of this range, and we can actually, do some trend trades, which are way easier. Because if you see a pattern breakout, it usually goes on, excuse me, especially on the daily chart. Daily chart pattern breakouts are pretty intense to the direction. So if it's a bear move, it's going to be pretty gnarly. We're probably going to head all the way down to eventually 880. But if we see a breakout to the upside, we could probably see a potential retest of this resistance line, which is at 1,570. But anyway, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you haven't liked this particular video yet, please do so. I would really appreciate that. And yeah, let me know in the comment section below. What do you think? Are we going to break out to the upside, to the downside? What's your take on the current macro environment? All right, take care. Have a great one. Bye-bye.